How is it going, guys? Drew Peacock here, back with another video, and I'm sorry, haven't been doing a lot of these desktop style videos. We've been doing a lot of IRL stuff, so if you guys haven't seen, the Honda recently got dynoed and it made some good numbers in my opinion. Go check out that video, I'll link it down below. And my good buddy Eric let me borrow his 570 GT for a day, and we had a lot of fun with that, so go check out those videos. Today I had a good idea. Instead of looking at tuner cars and just, you know, critiquing them, let's do a little head-to-head, a little build battle tuner car edition. We got import versus domestic, and we're gonna see out of the two which one we would choose. It's crazy because when I started this channel, I was like a pretty hardcore American Muscle fanboy, and over the years, I mean, I go back and forth. I love my Mustang, I love my Supra, I love my Honda. McLaren isn't either of those, but anyways, I'll try to have a non-biased standpoint and see which one I would prefer. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you see any listings like this, send it to my Gmail, drewpeacock.clips@gmail.com. Let's dive right in. All right, first one. Gotta start with the JDM, and personally, my favorite JDM motor. We got a 2JZ GTE right here in this 2002 Lexus IS 300. Push it 800 wheel horsepower. It's a 2JZ, obviously, and he's asking 50 grand. That's a lot of money. That's like NA Supra prices, and you're getting a 4-door with a 2JZ, so maybe it'll balance out. I mean, 800 horsepower. I'm not sure if it's a wheel. It says it makes about 8 to 900. Still needs to go full balls out tune on the new 67 turbo. That's not that big, but it could totally make that power. It's just a lot of boost. And this front end looks great. I mean, it's a great looking front end. I wish the lower grille is a little bit larger so it can probably have some better cooling for the intercooler, because that's a lot of power. Let's be real here. I think it's gonna get heat soaked. But it's a good looking car. I mean, the IS 300, it's one of those cars where when you know what it is, it's pretty sweet. But if you don't know what it is, it just blends in with regular ass traffic. Now this one with the giant slick on the back, not blending in with regular ass traffic for the most part. It's a very nice wheel setup. He's got TE37s up front. He's got a Weld 15-inch drag radial in the rear. It's a mean looking car. If I saw this car on the road, I would automatically know he's got a high horsepower 2JZ underneath the hood. If you want to call that high horsepower. I mean, it makes more than mine, so I'm going to call it high horsepower. I just don't want to blow up my stock bottom end yet, so I don't know if he's built yet, but he only has 4 pictures, sadly. Luckily, they're pretty much all we need to see of the vehicle to kind of get our assessment of it. I mean, if I were to have this vehicle, I would change the intake manifold, probably largen up the turbo a bit, and hopefully build the bottom end if you want to keep making that power consistently. If not, it's going to shatter. I mean, I feel like I'm pushing it with mine. But this is more than mine, so I hope that bottom end is built. Anyways, he has a T56, which is needed to make high horsepower, so that's good. Luckily, he's not on like a W58 or anything. He has a BTI 7-inch dash. That's good. Comp turbo oilless 67. That's pretty decent. I mean, the oilless is like a pretty cool thing that they have. Comes with drag pack and the Volk TE37s. 50K though, pretty firm. Did he say it's built or no? It doesn't say built though. It just... Yeah, I don't know. He says he wouldn't take 40, and for 45 he would entertain it, but he'd probably keep the wheels, which is fair. But I mean, if it's not a built 2J, I don't think it's a $50,000 car. I mean, my boy Brian, he's finishing up his IS 300 really quick. He took the JZ out of his Miata and he's putting it in an IS, which I think will be a lot better of a vehicle for him. And I don't see him getting 50 grand for it. If he does, oh boy, I'm gonna go do the same shit. Great car. I just don't think it's a $50,000 car. I think it's closer to 30 or 40 in this condition, unless it's built. If it's built, changes the game. And if there's more shit that he didn't list here, I'm assuming there is, but from what I'm seeing, I'm not seeing 50 grand, but it doesn't matter because that's not important. We're comparing it to some domestic car, so let's see what it's going up against. I just put them in random order, so it could be dog shit, it could be cool. Let's take a look. Okay, we got a 2015 Ford Mustang GT Coupe for 38 grand. Already sounds a bit fairer of a price. Let's see what he's got. So this is the S550, and he's got what looks like a Roush front end and grille, so that's pretty cool. Okay, we got a little blower underneath the hood, probably a Roush. It would make sense. He's got a stage 3 front end. I would assume those are the factory Roush wheels. I would assume. I mean, I don't see them all too often. Not the best looking wheels in my opinion. I'd rather have the welds off of the IS on this thing. Yeah, so it's obviously a Roush. He's got Roush interior, Roush badges all over it. Obviously a stage 3 Roush. And I don't know what stage 3s make off the top of my head. It's probably 600 or 700 if I had to guess. I can't imagine that. You know, let's just he'll probably say, honestly, we'll just read his description. It's a good looking car though. Overall, it's a good looking car. I feel like the hood doesn't exactly match the rest of the car. I feel like the paint's a little off. unless it's just an illusion in this photo, but it doesn't look perfectly matched, which is fine. I mean, it is an aftermarket hood. It looks decent in here, but there's some fitment issues. I think the IS looks a little bit more aggressive, weirdly. I know the four-door sedan looks more aggressive than a Roush Mustang, but this just looks, I mean, it almost looks stock, you know, which is cool. It's like an OEM, like a little sleeper look. That works too. Let's see how much power he's making. Car performs phenomenally, and I drive it often. Car's tastefully modded, so that's true. I'll give him that. And was a mule/development car for Roush. Has been to SEMA from 2015 to 17. New Falcon FK510s. I can't tell you if that's a good tire or not. I've never ran them. It puts down around 700 wheel horsepower, but is still very, very reliable, which is also a very good thing. I mean, like, having a car that's, like, built to handle it, it makes the difference. Like, I could turn up the Supra and get a couple thousand horsepower passes, but it's only going to be a couple. It ain't going to last very long. It still has AC, pretty firm at 38,000, which seems reasonable. How many miles? 58,000 miles. Not bad at all. It's got a Gen 3 short block with 90 or 19,000 miles on it. That's pretty good. It's got red Recaro, some other stuff which are nice. 2-piece slotted brake rotors. That's nice all the way around. Cons, check engine light for the rear O2 sensor. Who cares as long as it's only that. Doesn't affect drivability. The car is loud. Doesn't bother me, but it will some. I mean, if you're getting a 700 horsepower car, I mean, you would probably hope that you're okay with having a loud vehicle. Just saying. Now, between the two, I think this one is much more fairly priced. It makes less power. It's probably a lot slower compared to the, you know, comparative of the two, just because of the weight differences and everything. But it is way better priced than the IS. But if I had to choose between the two, I'm going with the IS. I love Mustangs. I love my Mustang. But 800 to 900 horsepower IS 300. Sorry, I'm scratching my calf right now. I'm going to take that over a 700 horsepower Roush, like, prototype car any day of the week. I mean, I think you guys would agree with me, but if not, let me know why down below. Let's move on to the second battle. All right, second battle. We have a 2001 Acura Integra Type R Sport Coupe two-door. 50 grand as well. I don't know what these people are smoking, but I'd be damned if I ever saw a Integra go for 50 grand. Now, we'll see why he's asking that, but already... Bing, 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 red flag everywhere. It's got 110,000 miles, so it's not like it's an ultra rare low mileage one, but I do see bead locks all the way around. So I have a hunch that this one is all-wheel drive. I guess we'll see in a second. Yeah, bead locks all the way around. I mean, that looks very aggressive. He's got a K-swap with a turbo underneath the hood. Okay, nice to see that. I'm not gonna lie, that is a nice looking setup you got there. Although it's missing one thing that I always harp about. Where the fuck is the filter? You ain't gonna have the motor last very long if you ain't got no goddamn filter on it. Come on, we've seen the videos. Yeah, I mean, it's a good looking car. It looks like an all-wheel drive K20, K24. It's a K24 all-wheel drive turbo. Okay, it says right here. So it's a K24 all-wheel drive. That's the motor I would choose if I was going all-wheel drive. I went K20 with mine specifically for less torque, for more traction. But if I had all-wheel drive, my bets are off. I'm going with the biggest motor I could throw in that motherfucker, and that's, well, besides the J series, it's this. But yeah, I mean, it's yeah, turbo K20 4 all-wheel drive. 50 grand though? I don't know about that. I mean, it's got a carbon fiber hood, which, I mean, this hood doesn't look carbon fiber unless it's paint matched. In which case, hats off to you, brother. Bellic wheels, which make very nice 3-piece like beadlock wheels. Very nice. JDM Type R steering wheel, K-tuned shifter, K-tuned electric water pump, Speed Factory tuck radiator, K-Pro V4, tuned to buy Yol Solo, made 500 wheel horsepower on pump gas. 93. Okay. Now this is where we get into some sticky water here. 500 wheel, you don't really need all-wheel drive for that. Now he is gonna hook better 1000% than a non-all-wheel drive one, but I've seen 500-ish wheel horsepower Integras and stuff hook well. Roll racing, this guy, at least based on this photo, looks like he goes to the track. So if you're doing dig racing, he's got the best setup for that. Now the second question is, do you need $50,000 to build this? I mean, if it's a real Type R, I don't know. I mean, I know all-wheel drive swaps and shit are really pricey. I feel like he's just trying to get what he put into it. I mean, he probably put more, honestly, but that's expensive. Once again, though, doesn't matter if he's asking that much, because that's not what we're here to decide. I kind of want to know that. What do you guys think down below? Anyways, he's going up against 2000 Chevrolet Corvette Coupe two-door for 34. Once again, cheaper than the damn import. They just happen to be like that. And this one has a big ass tire as well. Sadly, no all-wheel drive though. Sadly, no all-wheel drive. But let's see what else he has. So he's got some welds. He's got a matching set all the way around. Giant balloon tire on the rear. He's got pop-up headlights. Integra didn't have pop-up headlights. Come on, JDM fanboys, you guys love that. It looks like a, you know, it's kind of like an RX-7 if you think about it. It kind of looks like a little RX-7. Now, anyways, I mean, it's a good-looking car. I mean, it's got a cage on the inside. It's actually got a little, looks like a bar to where you can like get in and out easily. So that's pretty nice. I don't know what the hell the official term of it. It's got a hatch. It's got a hatch you can climb in and out. It's got a little swivel. You know, it's got A-pillar gauges. Not a huge fan of those, but I guess for this car they probably are the best option. Besides like a, I don't know, digital gauge or something. Manual transmission, of course. The seats look really nice. Are they factory? Are they factory seats? I can't really tell from here. I mean, they look really nice. I mean, they look really well taken care of for 94,000 miles. I can't imagine that they're OEM seats. Okay, the motor and the power. Two most important things. This car makes 1,006 rear wheel horsepower and 940 rear wheel torque. I don't care if you got an all-wheel drive Integra at this point. It ain't keeping up with this. It's got a 408 cubic inch motor with a bunch of shit in here. If you really want to read this, go for it. It's got an upgraded transmission, upgraded rear end / clutch, all the fun stuff. Tuned to 1,000 rear wheel horsepower. That's crazy. Boost adjustable from 8 to 18 PSI. It also runs on E85. If you really want to sit here and read all this, go for it. We can just look at some more photos. It's got a drive shaft, aftermarket drive shaft for this thing, probably capable of handling all the power, obviously. Here's a dyno sheet of all the different fucking tunes, probably. Plenty to win probably every race. And underneath the hood, we have what looks like a turbo setup. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's rear mounted because it's not up here. Is it twins or no? I don't know if it's twins or not. I guess we didn't see. We did not see. Yeah, it's got an up or a UPP twin turbo kit with upgraded 6182R dual ball bearing turbos, 3-inch full exhaust, no mufflers. So that thing sounds whistly. You know, it's gonna sound sick. Oh my god, I wish Facebook would let you put clips of what you're trying to sell. Why not? That would, oh my god. Anyways, underneath the hood looks good. I'm betting there's a filter on them. I fucking hope so. Now, I think the all-wheel drive Integra would be very, very fun, but it is not 1,000 horsepower or even close to it. So I'm taking the 1,000 horsepower C5 Corvette. Honestly, when I saw the all-wheel drive Integra, I thought whatever the hell that went up against was going to sweep the competition. But this thing is a monster. No denying it, is a monster. So right now we're tied, 1 import, 1 domestic, and we're going into the tiebreaker round. Let's see what it is. Tiebreaker round, we have a 94 Honda Civic Si hatchback. Looks kind of beat, not gonna lie, but I see an intercooler on it, so we'll see. He's asking 20 grand for this bad boy, and he sold it, so he must have got close to that. Let's see what he's got. It's another all-wheel drive swap, but this one's in an EG hatch. As you know, I just finished my EG hatch. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. So I am I'm pretty horny over EGs right now. Now this guy did not go with a K swap. He went with a B series. I'm sure it'll say which one in the comments down below or in the description. And he's got a single turbo on his. Single turbo B series all-wheel drive EG. That just sounds sick as hell. I mean, there are some things that are a little bit of an eyesore. The exhaust housing is obviously rusted as shit. It looks like he's missing a bolt also on the fucking flange. So I mean, it's not like the best thing ever. It's got a teardrop exit on the fender. That's pretty clean. I actually like that a lot. You know, it didn't look so clean in here, but that actually looks really flush and really precise. So I do like that. I do like that a lot. But I mean, at the same time, it's all-wheel drive. So I mean, that's just so much fun right there. It's just like, I can only imagine, like, if I thought about it when I got mine, I was like, dude, all-wheel drive. I don't care. I'll drop the money. And my buddy was like, yeah, dude, for like the base before you even build the trans, it's like 10 to 15 grand. And I was like, not happening. Yeah, not happening. Sorry. Not happening. I wasn't going to waste all that on a car that I picked up for 5. Just it wasn't going to be me, you know, not me. If it was my only car, it would be a little different, but I have 5 other projects I got to take care of, so I'm not dumping everything into the damn EG. Anyways, we could read his description really quick. It says it's got a built motor. I'm not going to read all of this. I just want to see how much horsepower it makes. Claims it needs a tune. Little sus, not the worst thing ever. Little sus though. So we don't know how much it made. I mean, it's a built motor. I've seen built B series turbos make 500-600 horsepower. So it's totally doable to make high horsepower with that shit. Actually, at the dyno shop, when I was getting mine dynoed, there was a 750 wheel horsepower all-wheel drive Del Sol there on a B series. So you can make serious power with those motors. However, we don't know what this one is making. So that will play into the equation a little bit. I don't really mind that it doesn't look complete in some of the photos. I can see the vision, and it looks mostly complete. So it looks good. For the most part, I'll give it 2 thumbs up. But it is a little fishy, Let's see what he goes up against. All right, he's going up against another Mustang. We got a 2011 Ford Mustang. This guy's asking $22,000, and right here, I mean, we could see what he's got. He's got a single turbo as well. So single turbo built B series versus single turbo Coyote. That's a hard one. That's a hard one right there. Hopefully this guy says his numbers. But I mean, it looks clean. It looks clean. Obviously manual. Hopefully he put a T56 in this because the MT82 ain't gonna hold it. It's an 11. Thank God it wasn't a 10 because the 10s are dog shit. But it's an 11, so that's very cool. I don't really like the combo. Like, this front end just looks funky for some reason. It looks like he had to like bend the lip to fit the intercooler. That's the impression I'm getting. I do like the bumper exit. That's pretty cool. I like that. But everything else is a little, like, the front end just looks like, I don't know, it's like it's missing a chin. It looks weird. I don't really like it. Not a huge fan of it. I like the rear end. You know, the rear 2/3, great. This front end, stock wheels still, I don't know. I guess you don't need much, but we'll just look at this beautiful photo. Except for the fucking eyesore of not having a filter. Once again, what's with you turbo guys and not running filters? My Supra has a filter. Put a filter on your car. That's why they're all selling it, because the things are starting to knock because they're sucking in debris. Does this guy have a filter? He better. Losing my mind. All right, whatever. It's a downhill battle from here. All right, so single turbo B series built all-wheel drive or single turbo Mustang. Fuck, that's an actual hard one. I think I would have more fun, if I'm being quite frank, in the B series. I think I would have more fun in the EG. But I feel like I wouldn't die in the Mustang. Like, I've handled my Mustang with a lot of power, and my my EG that only makes X amount. Go watch the video. It's a death trap. I feel like I'm gonna die every time I go wide open throttle in that thing. So, ooh, that's a hard one. But it's also not all-wheel drive. It's also not all-wheel drive. But do I want to go that fast in that car? Once again, scary as hell. Oh, that's a hard one. I think, if this was a later gen, you know, 13 or 14 Coyote, I would definitely go with the Coyote. It's my favorite body style. I would definitely go with that. This one, not my favorite looking one. No filter. The MT82, yeah. Out of left field, I'm going with the Honda. Imports won this round. I'm sorry, I had to go with the Honda. One of the all-wheel drive Hondas had to win. I didn't know when I selected this car to include in this video that it was all-wheel drive, so that was a surprise to me. I really don't look at the descriptions when I pick the cars. I click on the links that you guys send me, and I look at it for like 10 seconds, and I'm like, okay, that's going in. And I didn't know it was all-wheel drive. I mean, the not having a tune is one thing, but that's fixable. You know, go over the car, go get it tuned. Simple as that. Make sure it's not blown up. Imports won this round. I want to hear your guys' thoughts, though. Did I get this wrong? Would you guys have chose the Mustang? Would you guys have chose the other Integra over the Vette? Let me know down below. Guys, thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to see more videos like this one. And until next video, peace!